This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. We always like to go out to Massachusetts, or up to Massachusetts. Sideways to, I know, it's north.
Yeah.
And talk to Stephen Kravitz.
How you doing, folks?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm watching the Olympics.
Are you? I'm avoiding them.
Why?
I don't know. You know what's bothering me? It always bothers me is when they start going, we've won 8, China's won 7. You know,
Right.
I mean, I don't like that. I think this is a world getting together to compete with each other in harmony.
Right.
And all of a sudden you're making it into they didn't do as well as we did.
Right. A competition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a competition.
Absolutely.
For the most part, although, what is the biggest competition? The biggest competition is really a person against their own best.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right.
And it really doesn't matter whether you get gold or silver or bronze, but your desire is to beat yourself, not to
Right.
beat somebody else.
Right.
And the only sports in which you beat somebody else is maybe in swimming and in running, you know, and those things where there are multiple people participating at the same
Right.
time. But, you know.
I love all that, Alex.
Yeah.
I love the swimming. I love the diving. I even watch fencing and boxing and judo and all the non-main sport events.
Have you been watching lesbian softball?
No, I haven't.
I swear, every woman playing softball looks like they're a lesbian.
Well, there is that component.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you know the gymnast Simone Biles?
It's Simone Biles. Yeah, she's out.
Yeah, I don't know. She collapsed under the pressure.
Yeah, I don't know how when she was younger you could survive that pressure.
Right.
But now you can't survive that pressure. It doesn't seem to make a hell of a lot of sense to me, you know?
Right.
Unless it could be that she's gotten a little older, she feels her body is changing, and there's a pressure upon her to do exactly what she did last time, which she'll never do again because she was a little girl at the time.
Right. Now, she's afraid to do some of the tricks.
She's afraid to do them?
Yeah, she thinks she's going to get hurt.
But I've seen her do them here in just, in training.
Right.
And she does it all without
Right.
any problem. So what is different once she gets there? That's what I don't get.
There's something going on psychologically.
Yeah.
She feels the weight of the world on her shoulders. And she's just a young woman. You know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure.
Well, I wouldn't have gone back if I were her, and I'll tell you why. I think that even in just quitting now,
Right.
she has lowered her price when it comes to endorsements and everything else.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, she's ruined. Why go back and ruin your reputation? You know, especially when you were going to be 4 years older, now you're going to be 5 years older because they didn't hold them last year.
Right.
Okay, so you're not in really the best shape in your life to do this. I mean, she's still, God. I mean, I've seen the stuff she does has just been doing recently in showing what she can do, and she's amazing.
Phenomenal.
She's amazing. She defies gravity, and I think she could probably do that too. But I think psychologically it was just too much for her. She didn't want that pressure.
Right. That's like when I was a finalist in the competition and I came in 4th.
Yeah.
I decided I'd never do it again.
Oh, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. You know, I didn't want to be a judge. You know,
I was a judge one year.
Yeah, well, they kept begging me every year, be a judge, be a judge, be a judge, and I went. I've told the story before. I went no, because there's no way I can win by being a judge.
Right. Right.
Okay, number one, I'm having to go in and judge a bunch of friends. I mean, one year
there you go.
Was it the year I did it? The year you were in there? I
85.
Huh?
1985.
Yeah, I think that was maybe the year I did it. Who won? It was
Sinbad.
Oh, I did it the year that Warren won.
Oh, that was the next year.
But you had Warren, and I think Pearl was there. I mean, there were a whole bunch of people I liked.
Right.
You know, and to judge them was impossible.
Right.
And then I brought people along with me. I brought Shecky with me, my friend Shecky, and I brought my girlfriend at the time. Right. And I had them sitting on either side of me, and I said, look at what I score them, and if you feel that I'm being too giving to them because I know them, or if you feel I'm not doing right by the particular act, let me know. Okay, right. I wanted them to be the ones watching out for my objectivity, and so that you know, I that night, I think, I can't remember who won the night I was there, but Warren came in second, and he came in second the next night. But they take an average between the two nights, and one guy came in first one night and third the second night. And the other one came in first the one night and third the second night. So guess who wins? Warren.
There you go.
All right. And now everybody is saying Alex Bennett fixed the comedy competition.
Is that right?
And I went up to the people who were running the thing and said, see, this is why I didn't want to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because there's no way anybody's going to think I'm going to be objective.
Well, the thing is, when we did it, it was the only competition in North America.
Yeah.
Now they're in every club on the planet.
Yeah.
Comedy competition.
Well, also, I mean, let's face it. Most of the time, people who won the comedy competition never amounted to anything.
Right.
You know, I mean, the first year, the winner was Jim Farley. First year.
Beat out Robin.
He beat out Robin Williams. Okay.
Right.
Where's Jim Farley today, and what happened to Robin Williams? He was so good he blew his brains out. You know.
Right. Like Sinbad won, and Ellen DeGeneres came in second.
Yes.
You know, that is a prime example.
Yeah. You know, that's a very good example. I mean, to begin with, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again: the only competition in comedy is, again, against yourself, and you against the crowd.
Right.
Okay? And if you come out with a standing ovation, as an example, you don't need to win a contest to tell you how good you are.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I just found it, I find holding contests where art is concerned is wrong. I don't like the Oscars. I don't like the Emmys. I don't even like the thing they're doing here with me and the what do you call it? The Broadcast Hall of Fame, because
I voted for you.
Yeah, but it's made into a contest.
Right.
And it shouldn't be. I mean, only 1/25 of the vote by the people goes towards my winning or losing. The rest
is that right?
Yeah, the rest is the nominating committee, of which there are 24 members.
I think like football or any of the sports, if you're nominated, that means you're in.
It just seems to me that what you should do, if you're going to have a Hall of Fame, is what they do it with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They just announce every year who's being put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They don't say, everybody, let's vote, and let's have this group vote on them, and let's this.
Right.
There's no vote. They just say, hey, you know, we were looking at a bunch of people, and these are the people whose work has endured over the years.
Right.
Okay, have given some kind of a contribution to the business. You know, so there shouldn't just be one winner. You know, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm up against. I think I'll lose. I think Sally Jesse Raphael will probably win because she's the most known.
That's right.
Of everybody.
That's right.
And quite frankly, I also knew Sally quite well.
Right.
I worked with her at WMCA, and I've interviewed her on several occasions, and I like the woman. She's a nice lady.
Right.
Okay, who's had some very sad moments in her life. I think her son or somebody committed suicide. I mean, it just I would if she wins it, I will not feel bad. If any of those other douchebags win, I will.
Right.
You know, I mean, Larry Elder, guys running.
Right. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, yeah, and these guys in Philadelphia, I never heard of them.
Right.
You know, so if
I don't think you get Alex. I don't think you get enough credit for being the catalyst of the comedy boom of the '80s.
Well, nobody gives me credit for that. I was talking about this last night on the show, is that I can claim a lot of firsts. Okay,
Right.
things I did first. I did the first podcast. Okay,
Is that right?
oh yeah, and I can prove it. I've got the audio program, the program that shows that I did it.
Right.
And it's dated. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a program that delivered the show to your computer every day.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, you think I'm getting credit for that? No, some other guy maybe 2 years later who did it. Oh yeah, no, he's the one that did it. And I'm going, come on, just
Right.
because I didn't call it podcast. God, I'm sorry, I didn't come up with the term.
Right.
But all I'm saying is you don't want to be the first. Be the second. Then everybody will give you credit for it.
In most cases, that's right.
If I was the first at what I did, the guy who gets all the credit for being the second who did what I did is Howard Stern.
That's right.
So I mean, I don't think a bunch of firsts is that good. A bunch of seconds, hey, that'll put you in the money.
That's
So
right.
and I prove my point now going back to Warren Thomas. He never came in first. He came in second every night and won.
Right.
Right. So always be second. That's my advice to the young kids out there. Don't ever try to be the first on your block. Yeah.
Well, the first one in any groundbreaking medium
Yeah.
never gets the credit. It's always the second one.
Well, it's very interesting. They always talk about all these, the Me Too movements on, we need more women working in Hollywood in big positions and so on.
Right.
Women have always been forgotten in movies. When movies first started, do you know who wrote most of the pictures?
Women.
Women.
Right.
It wasn't until sound came in and the big moguls came into play that we started to see less and less women working. I mean, there were even women directors in silent films. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't until sound came in that we didn't see any more women directors. It wasn't until an actress who doesn't really get the credit she should, Ida Lupino, came along. And
Who's that now?
Ida Lupino, she was married to Howard Duff, another actor. And she started directing movies. She was the only female movie director back in the 50s.
Is that right?
And when it was hard for her to do movies, she directed TV. I mean, she was a major director. Nobody thinks of having a Lupino Award or something like that for the work that this woman did. She broke the glass ceiling when it came to directing. Again, but as time has gone on, now if you look at TV, want to know where women are very big in TV now? Just check the directing credit on any show, on any drama, especially dramatic shows. Most of them are women.
That's right.
Yeah. So don't gripe that there aren't enough women working as directors in Hollywood.
Right.
I would say if you looked at the roles of the DGA, I won't say there are over 50% women, but I'd say there's something like 30 or 40%.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. Have you ever worked with a female director?
No.
No.
I never worked with a director who actually gave me directions.
What do you mean? He didn't say a little more emotion?
He said do a little bit more of this, or do a little bit more of that, or do less of this.
Really?
Yep.
Clint didn't even do that?
No. Clint, in fact, Clint, when they were supposed to use stuntmen for the car chase scene.
Yeah.
And Clint said, these guys are having such a good time, let them do it. So we did all our own stunts.
Oh.
Which was very cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you liked being in that car with that baseball bat hanging out the window.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got it. I was thrilled to death to do it.
Really? I'd be peeing my pants.
Nah. We were going about 50 miles an hour.
They really wanted to have a stuntman do that for you, right?
Right. They wanted the three of us in the car. They wanted to put stuntmen in.
And if you guys, any one of you guys said, "Yeah, I don't want to do it," they would have just done it. But they said,
right.
He just said, "As long as you're having fun, you do it."
Right. These guys are having a ball. Let them do it.
Wow. Yeah.
That was a great experience.
I mean, there are a lot of directors in Hollywood who do give direction or do motivate the actor. I can't remember who it was, but there was one director, and I'm trying to remember who it was, and I can't remember, who would always go up to an actor and whisper in their ear. And then he'd back off, and the actor would go to work and do this incredible job.
Right.
Because he knew something psychological to say to that guy to get him motivated.
Right.
And that's really, people don't understand, a job of a director isn't to say, move the camera here, move the camera there. He certainly can say that, but that's usually the job of the cinematographer. Okay?
Right.
His job is to direct the actors, to give them their motivation, to bring out the performance.
I tell you, there was one director.
Yeah.
When I did the Hot Chick.
That's like a dumbass comedy, for Christ's sake.
Right, and I get beat up in the alley. And they used a stuntman to take the face punches. And then I got down on the ground, and I got a piece of cardboard. That's all I have for protection. And this woman is kicking me as hard as she can. And the only direction I heard was, kick 'em harder. That's it. That's my entire movie career.
Really?
No.
That was
I mean, that's where I heard direction.
Yeah, that was a movie
behind the camera.
That was a movie with, what's his name? My old friend. Rob Schneider.
Right.
Who came in 5th in the comedy competition the year that I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Have you been paying any attention to Rob lately?
I'm still in touch with Rob.
Yeah, but politically, he is just out there.
Right.
I mean, it's
Don't
not.
discuss it.
What?
He's gone Republican.
He hasn't gone Republican. He's gone wacko. No, I mean, and I like him. You know, I'm good friends with him. I talked with him a couple of years ago, and we had the best time. You know, I like him.
Right.
But man, then I hear him with this stuff about don't get vaccinated, and it's and I'm going, Rob, you know, come on.
Right.
I wish I were near him so I could shake him by the collar and go, just shape up, you know.
He thinks the whole vaccine is a hoax.
Yeah, the whole vaccine is a hoax.
Right.
I just
the whole virus is a hoax.
Yeah. But until they get it, then they wind up in the hospital on their deathbed and say, "Can I have the vaccination now?"
Right. Or they all speak of regretting not getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had gotten the vaccine. Well, yeah, now that you're sick, you fucking idiot.
You didn't have to get to this point.
Right.
It was a simple little needle in your arm you hardly feel.
Right.
You know. I mean, I wish I could tell people that, it hurts a little because some shots hurt more than others because of the viscosity of the shot or something, the density of the shot. This shot, you don't feel a thing.
No.
You know, the needle is so good that they don't even have to push it into you. They just go boom, and it just sinks into you.
Right.
And then they shoot it, and you don't feel the stuff going in. I'll tell you, some flu shots every year. One year is worse than the other. Okay. You know, They do have varying degrees of this one hurts, this one doesn't hurt.
Right.
If you go and get any one of a number of other shots, like a pneumonia shot, it hurts a little more than the other shots hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This thing doesn't even hurt.
No.
You know,
You don't even know it happened.
You almost say, "Okay, I'm ready," and they go, "Well, I did it already." You know.
Right.
As they're putting the bandage over it, for what reason I have absolutely no idea.
Well, in case they hit a vein and some blood comes up.
But they can see if there's blood coming out.
Right.
But though they don't, every time they ever put a Band-Aid on me, it's like a day later when I decide to take a shower, they go, "What's that?"
Right.
I still got it on me. You know?
I've done exactly the same thing.
I did something last night, and I want to make sure you've done it and other people do it. We went out to dinner, so I put on both my tennis shoes, sneakers. As I'm walking out, as I'm down in the lobby, and it's too late to go back upstairs because the car is waiting, I notice that I put on two different sneakers. Have you ever done that?
We've all done that.
Huh?
I think we've all done that.
Really? Well,
There's a time I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay. But this wasn't on purpose. This was, when that happens and you're older, you really get to feel bad about it because you think you're losing it.
Right.
You know.
And do I have, the onset of Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, one of the signs of Alzheimer's is you put on two different sneakers. Oh, God.
Right.
You know, but I usually always make sure. I thought I made sure yesterday, you know. But I have a cleaning woman, and when she comes in, she puts all my sneakers under a chest, okay?
Right.
And and really, I don't need the other ones. They can be put away somewhere and not even in play, but, you know.
Because you wear just one pair, right?
I wear just one pair.
Right.
You know. No, I wear two pair at a time.
There you go. I like to see that.
So what's new with you up there? We got a few minutes left here. What's new? Anything?
Well, I'm going to a minor league baseball game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And they're doing some filming around, so that's pretty exciting. And, let's see if I can get in there somehow.
Oh, okay. All right. I signed up for this thing called the Casting Network.
Right.
Down here. And they send me...
I'm familiar with it.
This is for extras.
Right.
And I get about 20 of these things a day, and I think if I really wanted to do this as a full-time job, I could probably make about $1,000 a week. I could do about 5 jobs a week. There are enough of those. And they just say people over, who are so-and-so within my age range and, look like I do, and we just need you for a crowd scene.
Right.
$182, SAG-AFTRA.
Right.
So I figure, hey...
The thing is, you're not treated real well on the set.
No, I don't care. What do I got nothing else to do.
Right.
But the trouble is that every one of them is asking for a COVID test.
Really?
Yeah, so you have to get a COVID test the day before. You don't get paid for taking out time to do that.
Right. Right.
They should give COVID tests right on the set. They've got instantaneous results.
That's right.
They can get them back within 15 minutes. They should do them on set.
I wonder if you need you need COVID results. You need a COVID test.
Yeah.
There's home COVID tests now. I wonder if that would count.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. No, they want
the official.
The official one. Yeah. But
right.
I mean, I've been vaccinated. That should be enough for them. They should say if you aren't vaccinated, be tested. But no, they want everybody tested. So that's the only thing that holds me back is because I just don't want to take 2 days out to do a one-day job.
Right.
But I've never done any extra work, and some of it is kind of primary extra work too. It's so it's a question of when, and But anyway, I had my. I've been thinking about it. But so you're going to go see if you can get some work out of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. You're good, and you're a type.
Right.
Yeah.
As Rick Reynolds once said to me, you're an odd-looking human being.
Hey, listen, good talking to you again. It always is. I enjoy what I call Wednesdays with Steven. And have a nice week. Hope maybe you get some work. That would be nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And thank you, Steven. Wave goodbye. I'll wave goodbye at you as well. See you later.
Bye.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey there, everybody. How are you? Good evening. It's Alex, and I'm Stephen Kravitz. We like Stephen a lot. Yeah, I really didn't feel like doing a show tonight because today, again, we're talking with our lawyers and our lawyer. And he's, where before in the very beginning, he was like, oh, gung-ho, oh, you got a real case here, blah, 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 blah. Well, $100,000 later, he's saying, well, you didn't save any money in the past with the thing, and you might owe $200,000, which I don't have. I have it, but, I was planning on having some money for my old age. Anyway, it's just, I feel that I've been screwed by everybody. I got screwed by the guy that rented this apartment. We're getting screwed by the lawyers. We're getting screwed by the courts. I mean, everybody's screwing us. And we've just been given, I think, some bad advice. And I would have never, if in the beginning they had said to us, well, there's a little chance you might be able to get something out of this. You might be able to do all kinds of things, whatever. But we don't know for sure, Then I would have gone, okay, all right. Well, we'll decide whether we want to pursue it or we want to just cut bait and go somewhere else. But we were told, oh, this is a slam dunk. Listen, this guy has ripped you off. And $100,000 later, we're being told, well, it's not as a slam dunk as you thought it was. What? I thought you told us it was slam dunked. Okay. So today, I talked to him and he's going, well, you could owe $200,000, you could owe this, or we think we can get you out of that, and we think we can negotiate this, and we can negotiate that, but we don't know if you can or you can't or whatever. And I'm so depressed by the whole thing. I just want nothing to do with it anymore. Just go to court, do what you're going to do it without me, okay? Unless you need me at some point to testify. See, at this point, they're just trying to negotiate a way out, okay? And but if you have to put me up on the stand, I will do the best acting job I've ever done in my life. And that's fine. But otherwise, leave me alone. I want nothing to do with this. Just let me know if I have to get out of this apartment, okay? And when I do, I don't know how I'm going to do it because I got to find some place that's large enough to put all the stuff we've amassed in this place somewhere else. And I'm not putting it in storage because once things go into storage, they never come out of storage. All right? And if I die and I come back as anything, I want to come back as a guy that owns storage units, okay? Because it's the biggest racket in the world. I mean, listen, Damien, who does a show here, knows exactly what I'm talking about. People put stuff in storage because they're planning on either moving somewhere else or whatever, and then they never get that out of storage. I've still got stuff that's been in storage for the last 20 years in California. Okay? All right? Now, how much money have I paid over that time in storage? So if I ever come back and I want a slam dunk business, I'm buying all these places where I can put up storage units. And then people come in and they never leave, right? Then if they do leave and they don't pay you, you've got their stuff. Okay, so it's a great business. That and lawyers. Do you know there are 3 sets of lawyers in this case we're involved in? This case has been going on for 8 years. So for 8 years, 3 lawyers have been making money. Now I know we put out almost $100,000, and I would imagine that the other lawyers don't come cheap either, so they come at about another $100,000 each. So the lawyers here, after it's all over, after we go like that and the dust clears, and somebody gets screwed, everybody gets screwed. I mean, I think everybody in this case, one way or another, is going to wind up getting screwed. The lawyers still, they're not the ones that get screwed. They don't get screwed at all, right? So that's what that's all about. But anyway, it doesn't appear that we have very, very many people here ready to talk, and I didn't really want to do a show tonight anyway. So if we don't get a few more, I'm gonna say hasta la vista. But let's say hello to the people that are here. Okay, let's bring them in. Let me see here. Oops, I didn't. What I didn't do is I should have admitted them before I did that little thing. Admit all. There we go. There we go. They're going. There we go. Okay, there we are. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me see here. Is and Sidekick Rocky? Okay, we got that. You're going to see that. Hello, Vernon, and hello, Trucker Steve. How you feeling, Trucker Steve? We always have to ask you that question whenever we start off one of these little things,
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. And are you getting used to going to your what do you call it? Your what do they call that again? I forgot.
Dialysis.
Your dialysis. Are you used to it now? Are you getting used to it? Yeah.
Did one this morning.
Yeah. You wish it weren't as boring, right?
No, it's not bad. I got TV to watch when they do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long? Do they have any possibilities that you're going to have a chance at a thing? What do you call it? A transplant soon, or?
Yeah, I don't know when exactly, but it could be, maybe another 6 months. Who knows?
Yeah. Now they don't ever transplant 2 of them, right? They only transplant 1, right?
No, you only need 1, I think.
You only need 1. That's because the other person who you get it from only needs 1 too, and that's why you get 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I weren't so old, I might consider giving you my kidney. After all, I've given lawyers my lung, so I mean, what the hell, it really. It's
You sure it wasn't an arm and a leg?
no, and I don't want to talk too much about it because then it'll get back to everybody that I'm really pissed at the whole thing. But I've just I've gotten to the point where I've given up. I just give up, I've given up all hope. All right, it went from everybody, all these lawyers going, it's a slam dunk, to having no hope at all. So it's strange. It's really strange. I hope we get to stay here. I hope I don't have to move. I don't want to move, not at this age. And I don't know where we'd move, What I'm suggesting is that she sell her apartment and that we move upstate and get a house, just move into a house and spend the rest of our lives living in the country. But that would drive her nuts. It wouldn't drive me nuts, though. And I could have my little.
As long as they have Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, well, as long as they have Wi-Fi, I can have my little mountain studio up there and, do what I got to do. Probably wouldn't be as great as I have now for, throughput, but what the hell, Plus, then you also got, Elon Musk has got this Skynet or whatever he's setting up. I can't remember what it's called. And that may be something in the future that you could do it with sending stuff both ways. So who knows? It's kind of a Skype Wi-Fi is what it is.
Well, the Senate approved that internet, what do you call it, infrastructure bill today, 67-32,
Yeah.
just to start writing the measure.
Just to start writing the measure. So that means we don't.
They agreed on the framework.
So that's not going to happen now for another 20 years, right? It's just they're going to start. They've agreed to start talking about it.
Supposedly they're in the writing the bill stage, but they've agreed to the outline.
To the outline, I see.
What's going to be included, what's not going to be
They've
included.
agreed to the ruled paper that it's going to be written on.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Everything. The problem is, this is a country, and I don't want to sound like I'm mad at lawyers today, but this is a country where the entire thing has been predicated on a set of rules by lawyers. And so we never get anything really done because they want to take as much time as possible to play out the clock. Does that make sense?
Well, my wife was a lawyer, so I'm a little partial.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't want to upset you with that then. Or
Well, no, there's all kinds of jokes. Like when she first became a lawyer, she was the first woman, by the way, first woman assistant U.S. attorney for the Western District of Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
And she got all the lawyer jokes too. One of which I thought was always funny, and that is, do you know what they call 3,000 lawyers on the bottom of the ocean?
A beginning.
A good start.
A good start. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that there are a lot of lawyer jokes, but that's probably the major lawyer joke. That's the go-to lawyer joke. Hey, look, I've got my green putty tonight that I'm using for my arthritis, and look, it's invisible.
Got my glove on too.
Yeah, it's invisible. Look at that. See, look. See.
You got a hole in your face.
Yeah. I got a hole in my head. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Let me see here. Tony Magno is entering the room. Hello, Tony. Is he here? Tony, push your button. There we go.
Almost.
There we go. There's Tony.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. How you doing tonight, Tony?
Bad day.
Huh?
I had a bad day.
You had a bad day? Why?
They did my mom's stone, but they left a letter out.
What?
Uh-oh.
I'm joking. I wanted to get you to laugh because she was so mad. I knew you'd be like that. I heard the lawyers. I figured, let me try. No, actually, I went to the cemetery to put flowers down, and they still didn't put the thing in. They said August, so I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. Well, what takes them so long?
They're backed up because of COVID. The place is right across the street, so I went across. I knew the ladies didn't have it.
Well, be careful, the people who write.
They're so behind because of COVID with all they have so many orders.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Really mind-boggling.
But be careful because those people who make the tombstone are real chiselers.
Really? You should charge you $900, but that doesn't.
Let me try that again on you, Tony. They're real chiselers. You get it?
I got it, yeah.
No, you didn't.
Hopefully August.
Explain the joke.
They got to chisel her name.
Yeah, that's right.
I says, Ma, it's coming soon. I don't know when.
Yeah.
We used to tell Alan that if you have to explain the joke, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with Tony, you have to explain them all.
Yeah. I'm in another world sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, my hand. I've got a hole in it. Look at that hole in my hand.
Yeah, you mentioned the lawyers, right?
What?
The founder, I'm reading a book on Lincoln. They were all lawyers pretty much.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that, I wouldn't want to be a lawyer. It's not my idea of a good time, but there's no losing it being a lawyer.
No.
When I think about the amount of money that the lawyers have made off this stupid little case, and, all the idiots that keep fighting it, the one guy keeps fighting it and keeps throwing monkey wrenches into it, and he keeps the bill gets higher and higher and higher. And then I just found out today he hasn't even paid his lawyer.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
in a long
right.
time. I don't know why his lawyer still sticks around, but if I didn't have to pay my lawyer, I'd take as much time as I possibly could. I'd play out the clock as long as possible till I drove everybody else broke. So it's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted from it, and I just I'll go get myself a little hovel downtown, one studio apartment where I'll put all this equipment, and then I'll move into another apartment where I can live. But who knows? I mean, I always think the worst.
I'm like that too. I always think negative stuff. You got to think positive.
Yeah. Well, I always think.
Alex, the country sounds nice. I would like to get out of Queens. The country sounds nice out of the boroughs.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. The reason I always think for the worst is that I'm a control freak. I was told that by who was the guy who wrote Swimming to Cambodia? I'm trying to remember his name now. Oh God, he died, committed suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I was interviewing him, and I said, we were talking about how he always, before he went on a trip, he would always think about the worst things that could happen before he went on the trip, like all the things that could fuck up on that trip. So that, and I said, why do you do that? Because I do the same thing. And he said, you know why we do it? Because we're control freaks. That we want to think for the worst, so that when it does happen, we go, well, I was ready for it. But if it doesn't happen, we go, whew, But we always think about the worst possible outcome in any situation. And I've done that pretty much all my life,
Spalding Gray.
Spalding Gray.
Spalding Gray.
Right.
You want to laugh, Alex? I was looking on YouTube before I did a search for your old radio shows, and I was listening to a show somebody put up on August 3rd, 1976. Your air conditioner went off. It was like a heat wave. You were taking calls.
Where was this?
WPLG. I was just listening to the first 15, 20 minutes. Your air conditioner was out in your building. You had central air, and you had people.
Wait, it's central air in the studio building. The building, the studio.
No, you say your apartment had no air.
Oh, no.
One of the hottest days in the summer.
No,
You played
I never had air conditioning in those apartments. There was never air conditioning. Never.
Maybe it was in the place then. Maybe it was in the work.
Maybe it was where we were working. Yeah, because my apartment house never had any air conditioning, and we didn't put any in. The reason is that in San Francisco they never built apartments with air conditioning. They built them with windows that opened up, and the air going through the apartments and so on and so forth. Do you have air conditioning in your apartment there, John?
No.
See, exactly that reason.
Oh, wow.
You never need it. It's always cold in San Francisco.
San Francisco is the world's only air-conditioned city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only went there once, but you were right. I went to the baseball game that night, and when I was leaving with shorts, and the guy at the door said, the doorman goes, "You better go back upstairs." I went down the block. I said, "Shit, it's cold." He goes, "You got to put your jeans on." I never went in shorts again the whole day.
Yeah. No, San Francisco is a very cold town.
Yeah, it was like 65 today in the daytime. 2 hours later, when the sun goes down, it feels like it's 50 degrees colder.
Well, I
really like the weather.
I used to say it's the world's only air-conditioned city.
Yeah.
So, whatever. So anyway, so what's happening down your neck of the woods there, Vernon? I understand Scott Boddicker is in your neck of the woods.
Oh, really? He didn't check in with me.
No, he's down. He supposedly went to Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Mitch McConnell voted for that infrastructure deal today, so he can get his Spence Pence Bridge at Covington, crosses Cincinnati to Covington, Kentucky.
What bridge?
The Brent Spence Bridge. It's the I-75 double-decker bridge.
Say that
that's
three
about
times.
55 years old or something like that.
Say that 3 times fast. What is it?
Yeah. Brent Spence.
Brent Spence.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, it's named after Mr. Brent and Mr. Spence.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know.
No, it's a guy named Brent Spence. Oh boy. Yeah.
But it's a double-decker bridge, you know, and the northbound traffic goes underneath, and the southbound traffic comes across the top.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have the Willy Brown Bridge now.
You
The Bay
do?
Bridge. They changed the name to the Willy Brown Bridge.
Which bridge?
The Bay Bridge.
Has been renamed the Willy Brown Bridge?
Yeah, I think so.
For what goddamn reason?
I don't know.
Popular.
What?
I think only on the from Oakland to Treasure Island side, not from SF to Treasure Island.
You know what's ridiculous about that? I thought naming bridges after people who are still alive is a little ridiculous. You know?
Koch got it when he died in Cuomo. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't name it
They were
Koch
gone.
Bridge until, you know.
You really have to be dead. You don't want to. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know.
and you see our mayor Alex. He's giving $100 C notes if they get the shot Friday.
What?
Yeah.
Why
This
did I
fucking-
why did I get my shot so early? Why didn't I wait?
Can't we get back pay for the shot?
Yeah, we should all get it retroactively. Yeah, I got my
And
shot.
he called it a C note. I was listening to 1010 Wins. My brother says, listen to this schmuck on the radio.
Wait a minute.
I said, where's you get a C note? That should put them over the edge.
Wait a
Come
minute.
on,
I
already.
don't believe that.
I swear to God, I'm not lying about it. I thought he was joking with me. He Google it.
Wait a minute. NY mayor.
I'm going to tell Shecky. Shecky's probably vomiting.
Oh,
over
he
this guy.
hates de Blasio.
I made him hate him with a passion.
C note.
And he called it a C note. What is he, a drug dealer? Come on.
C note. List of
Yeah.
mayors in New York City. No, New York City mayoral election. No, it doesn't say anything here. It really doesn't.
Hold on.
Payment for vaccine.
I think he's starting it Friday.
I don't believe it.
I swear on my mother's grave, I wouldn't lie about it. I thought my brother was bullshitting me when he said it. I said, you got to be
New
joking
York
me."
City will pay people $100 to get COVID vaccine.
I almost dropped my dinner in the kitchen. I was cooking. I says, this son of a bitch, I said. I don't believe this fuck. Our money, Alex. You don't even have the money. Feed the fucking poor. You gotta pay him to take a shot?
Let me see here. New York City offers $100 cash incentive to get COVID vaccine, but holds off on indoor mask mandate.
It's so fucking bizarre, world.
Yeah.
Can you believe this? We don't even have the money. New York's fucking getting bailouts, and he's begging them to take a shot.
I'm looking to see, you know, if maybe it was like $100.
They mailed him a debit card, I think, Alex, in the mail or something. Good luck trying to get that money.
Well, no, I mean the debit cards. I got. Well, you know something? I got a COVID test,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me a whole bunch of questions. So it took about a half hour, a bunch of questions, things like that, and they gave me a $50 debit card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in fact, I still got it here.
I want to get $100 for this shot.
I put
We should get it automatically because we got it already.
Huh?
You know, I mean, we're giving money out. I still can't get over it. We're begging them to say, here's some money to please take the vaccine.
Yeah, when they're really doing something good for themselves, you know. I mean, I find something.
I don't understand. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
I find
And
something.
he's like, that would give him an incentive.
Well, I find
Come on,
something.
you giving money
I
out?
find something wrong with that. You know.
My wife and I can get $50 each just for sending in our vaccination certificate to Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well,
Oh, really?
but you see,
But yeah, because I can understand because you took the shot already, and they probably, maybe they want to use it for whatever data they want or whatever.
yeah, but I mean, also, it's to their advantage for you to get the COVID shot rather than for them to have to pay your hospital bills as you lie in the
Exactly. That's
hospital
a good
with
point.
It's
COVID.
a
So,
big
so what
savings
they're
for
doing
them.
is they're taking it off of your monthly bill or something, or what?
No, they're sending a debit card like you were
Oh, a
talking
debit
about.
card. Okay. Well, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus,
like,
our
you wanna
governor.
Alex, you want to see the mayor saying,
Hold on a second.
if you're
governor's-
Irish,
Wait a minute.
and you get, I'm sorry.
Vernon's talking. Yes.
So,
Our governor's having 3 different drawings. I didn't win the first 2, but there's a third drawing coming up for $1 million, and all you had to do is submit your proof of vaccination to enter that.
Oh boy. You know, I people just don't know what's good for them, do they?
no.
You know, they're such babies. They have to be given the incentive in the form of
Hey,
money.
here's a lollipop.
Huh? Yeah.
Here's a lollipop.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. You know.
And the sad part is, New York is pretty much on the balls of their ass. We're getting bailout money, and he's just giving money out that's not even his.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to be mayor in about another couple of months, so he doesn't give a
I
crap.
can't wait for him to go.
Yeah. Well, you know.
You know, I could see him saying, Alex, and when he said you get $100, and if you're Irish, you can use that for your whiskey. If you're Italian, you can buy your gravy. I mean, come on. I think he's a son of a bitch, really. I mean, when my brother told me, I thought he was joking with me to put a laugh on me, because I went to the cemetery. I said, "Are you joking?" He said, "I swear, I'm not joking." And then I put it on the radio when I was cooking. I said, "I got to tell Alex this." So he'll never
Well, no, the
believe
best
me.
way to, you know, number one, there are a couple of ways to get people to get the vaccine. The biggest incentive is they're going to save some money by doing it, you know. In other words, and they're going to be able to go places that they can't normally go. Like, don't let them into the baseball game if they don't have a shot.
Yeah, I just went to the
You know,
game, too.
in other words, put them on the outskirts of society for not doing it. Does that make sense, everybody? You know.
For a lot of people. it
Well,
doesn't
I
make
think all teachers should be vaccinated, and if they don't get vaccinated, they should not be allowed in a classroom.
I would agree. I would agree. Cuomo said that if you're in a hospital, if you're a hospital worker, you have to have it, or either that or every week you have to get a COVID test.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's basically what Biden said about federal employees.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be that lax. I wouldn't say. I just say, hey, you know, if you don't get one, you can't come to work. If you can't come to work, we ain't paying you. You know, but they're afraid to say that. They're afraid to do that, and
It may be difficult in some situations because, especially like teachers, they have contracts with their union.
Yeah, their union is strong. My sister's a teacher, and you're right, Vernon. Their union is very strong. They can't even fire the bad teachers. They put them in like a rubber room, she says. Some of them are like, it's like, forget it.
Well, you know, some people do have religious.
Yeah, my brother, somebody in my brother's work, his religion does not believe in vaccinations.
Well,
he's an Indian guy.
Indian guy?
I mean, how would I call him, Alex? I don't know.
Well, I don't know what kind of Indian you're referring to, because
I
with
just
you it
think of
could
all
be
as the same,
anybody.
though. I'm
Is it
sorry,
woo?
yeah.
Wait a minute, is it woo woo or Mumbai?
Let's say a combination. I only met him once at my mom's funeral. He was nice enough to come. My brother introduced me. He said, "Oh, how you doing?" I always hear a voice on the phone.
Did you have coffee tonight?
Actually, I'm drinking iced tea.
It's got caffeine in it.
I've got some bourbon.
You got some bourbon.
Knock the
See,
sugar off.
he's got bourbon. He's from
I got
Kentucky, and therefore he has bourbon.
That's right, probably, yeah.
They do bourbon in Kentucky.
Well, I live in Kentucky, so I got to drink bourbon, right?
Yeah.
If he gave me a sip of that, I'd fall asleep like a baby, probably. Because I don't drink like you, Alex. So any type of alcohol would put me out, probably.
Jeff, did you have something you wanted to say?
I guess I should. Thank you. No, I actually got a test today
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that I'm legal, healthy, and all of that.
Oh, I see.
Because I went to a party on Saturday, and there was about 100 people there, and nobody wore masks, including myself. But anyway,
Well, we've become a little lax that way, but
That's right.
We were supposed to go to court on what is it, Monday? What do you call it? On Friday, and my attorney said that he doesn't feel comfortable with what's going on with COVID now, of going there to the courthouse. He said because we don't know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been vaccinated, and we don't know what kind of environment we're getting into, and we could still catch it. So he wants to do it all by phone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but since I've decided I'm not even going to be there, just call me and let me know when I have to move out.
I heard Tony Fauci say even if you've been vaccinated, you could be a carrier and a spreader of the Delta variant.
Yeah, I mentioned this last night, and I can bring it up again tonight, mainly because it's my show and I can bring up anything I want to. But I really think, and I have to agree to a certain extent with some people I heard on Fox today, that how are people going to feel good about getting the shot if the CDC doesn't even know what's going on? If every day they're changing their information, they're not giving people the incentive that the science is perfect and good. And now I understand that it has to change because science has to keep up with what's happening.
Got to keep up with current data.
But don't be so loosey-goosey with your data at an early stage when you might have to pull back on it on a later stage, because that only adds fuel to the fire of these people who are anti-vaxxers, saying, see, look, the CDC, one day they tell you one thing, the next day they tell you something else. Now, I heard a fact on not Fox, but one of the other stations, either Newsmax or America One or whatever. And it was some guy doing this thing saying that 40% of all people who are now coming down with COVID have had the vaccine in California.
Oh, no.
Has anybody heard that?
40% of the 40% of the infections in the country now are occurring in 3 states:
Florida, right?
Florida, Texas, and Missouri.
Yeah.
Lowest vaccination rate states.
Lowest. Well, no, Alabama's the lowest.
But where did this guy come up with the statistic that 40% of Californians who now come down with COVID have
He pulled it out of his ass, just like they always do.
I'm sure. But
just like Tucker Carlson said that the January 6th insurrection was an inside job. The FBI encouraged all those guys to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're saying that on Tucker Carlson.
I like what that officer on the testimony yesterday, Officer Dunn, I liked his analogy. He said, number one, if a hitman is hired, the hitman, when he's caught, goes to jail, but the guy that hired him also goes to jail.
Yeah.
So who hired the hitman on January 6th?
Yeah. Well, good luck with that one. I don't think we're ever going to see Donald Trump have to stand for his crime of inciting
I think they
a riot.
should subpoena his ass on this select committee.
And he'll lie there too.
John Gotti.
He may ignore it, but they'll just add that to the list of the crap. After being impeached twice, he'll also be the only president to ignore a subpoena from Congress and go down with a contempt of Congress citation.
I agree with Alex. He'll never end up in jail.
Can he still? Here's what I'm wondering. Can he call upon executive privilege to not testify?
No.
Or is that gone?
No.
He's out of office.
He's out of office.
No.
I mean, in other words, couldn't he claim that he can't testify because he might say something that is classified?
Or incriminating.
Well, but classified.
Yeah, he couldn't do that. He could take the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can take the fifth, but
Right.
Yeah.
that
No, but
He's got such a big head. He wouldn't take the fifth. He'd think that he could outsmart everybody, and he would spill his guts and not look good.
But I think if he ever got indicted, I think he'd split the country.
Russia will take him.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I heard an interesting analogy.
Russia
recently.
actually said they wouldn't.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard an interesting analogy recently that the mentality that we're dealing with right now, all of these Trump supporters, have actually been around in this country for a long time. About 30% of the colonies supported the king and did not want to go along with the revolution.
Yeah.
During the Civil War, 30% of the country wanted to keep slavery and destroy the Union.
Yep.
And now we've got 30% of the country saying that we don't want democracy, we want anarchy.
Yep.
Are you back in Kentucky?
Yep.
You're home. Oh, well, I've only been in Kentucky once, and I couldn't
Yeah,
get any television station.
Mitch McConnell voted for the infrastructure today, but Rand Paul voted against it. I just looked it up.
What is wrong? What is wrong? I mean, Mitch McConnell. What's wrong with Mitch McConnell? What's wrong with Rand Paul?
I hate that guy.
He's a fake ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
He's a wise guy.
Hey, did you hear?
I can't.
He's so fake. He didn't even join the professional organization that ophthalmologists join
Really?
after
He's
they get
probably not even
licensed.
board certified.
He did not join that organization because he thought it was corrupt.
So
So
by
he formed
saying
his own organization. He formed his own.
By saying he's an ophthalmologist, are you saying that he is positive about everything? Oh no, that's an optimist. Excuse me.
Yeah. He diagnoses myopia or what's it called? Hemeropia. That's where that's a cross between nearsightedness and hemorrhoids.
That's cute.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, when he goes after Fauci, I just, it's so much misinformation. It's so stupid.
He looks so stupid too.
I love it when Fauci put him down last week. He said, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about, Senator."
I think it's gotten to the point where Fauci has just had enough with Rand Paul.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be nice for the first couple of visits, but now I'm not going to put up with this anymore. And it's almost as though Rand Paul likes getting beaten up. But it was terrible. And then, have you heard that Fauci has I don't know if it's a Secret Service detail, but he has a detail of people, security people, where he lives because he has had so many death threats. Now, think about this for a moment. Here's a guy who's a doctor, who's trying to give you the best medical advice he knows how to give. He's your family doctor. He's your friendly local family doctor.
You're right.
Why would somebody threaten this man's life? I don't understand it.
And he's been at his job for 40 years. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
you know what, Alex?
The U.S. Marshals are guarding him.
Are they? Yeah.
Secret Service is only for the president and elected officials.
Tony?
Yeah, you know what I was going to say, Vern, too, and Alex, on Fauci, what I find amazing? And the guy's 80. I'm not saying he's old, because he's vibrant for 80. He could have walked away from his job 10, 15 years ago and retired.
Yeah.
And he's had an accomplished, decorated life. And they're ripping a guy who's still trying to save lives like I put this on Trump I think, Alex, you think this is Trump doing where he tells Rand Paul and them, rip him apart, make me look like the good guy and him the bad guy still?
Well, I don't know that Trump is giving him marching orders, and I'm wondering how much longer the Republicans are kind of going to be in Trump's camp. I think they're probably getting sick of it.
Well, he really took a loss on this infrastructure thing because he came out against it today and yesterday. He was saying, "Oh, those stupid Democrats are just a bunch of losers and blah blah blah. They shouldn't go for this infrastructure thing," just because he knew he never got shit done. You know?
He wasn't really president.
He had the House and the Senate for 2 years, and he still couldn't get infrastructure done.
He was into perks like crazy. Into the perks. I mean,
well, he did have an infrastructure week once a month.
Yeah, right.
Here's my question, though. Like, for instance, I heard that he spent a fortune redecorating the White House.
Yeah.
You got to have those solid gold toilet seats.
I mean, I don't understand why.
And Melania ruined the rose garden. She took out all the fucking rose gardens.
Yeah, now it's carnations.
Yeah, that had been in there since like the
Right.
Kennedy
Well,
administration.
didn't somebody inform her there's a reason it's called the Rose Garden?
Yeah, you're right. That is true. Now they got a bush.
You'd have to explain what that means to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She stripped it all out.
Yeah.
It's empty now.
And she almost wasn't the obnoxious. She wasn't the obnoxious one in the family. You
No.
know? But here we go. We're talking about him.
Yeah.
Numbers are going up again.
No, they're not.
They're not.
No, they're going down. You know.
Well, what do you think about Mo Brooks? I saw today that the guy who started off the rally in front of the White House at 9 a.m. was Mo Brooks of Alabama, and he's the one who said it's time to take names and kick ass.
Yeah.
And then everybody else showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All the other speakers were after him. He was the first one at the microphone.
Oh.
And we found out after the fact that the reason he was wearing that poncho was because he had a vest on, and it was to hide the vest.
Well, is that the guy who the Justice Department has refused to defend
Yeah.
in a lawsuit because
Yeah.
their feeling was that he claimed that he should be defended by the Justice Department because he was a member of the administration.
No, because he was doing his job.
He was doing his job, and they said your job was not.
They said you're on your own.
When you're
Justice
doing
Department said you're on your own.
when you're doing a political function,
Yeah.
you're on your own. And
Well,
so they're
it
not
wasn't exactly. They said, calling for an insurrection is not part of your job.
So
What brought
under
that about?
Yeah.
What
Under
brought that about is
Cody had a vest
Wait a
on.
minute.
yeah,
Vernon-
he had a vest on.
Yeah.
But the reason that the Justice Department got involved in it is that Eric Swalwell of California
Yeah.
filed a lawsuit against him and the other speakers at the rally, and he was saying, his defense was, well, I was just doing my job as a congressman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's suing Trump Jr., Mo Brooks,
Giuliani.
Trump.
Sounds like a great guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw that guy at that. What was the hat he was wearing? It was like a camo hat or something.
Yeah. It said I think it said "Make America Great" on it, but it was a camo hat.
Oh wow.
Guy's a goon.
I wonder how much money Trump made off of those fucking hats.
Those were bad too.
Because I think he trademarked them.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Except for
raising
they're all
money.
made in China illegally.
He's raising money on these damn audits. He's stoking
Yeah,
fear
of course.
of the election, and he's he's raising money on
That's
these
why-
audits, even though
That's why he's not going
none
to
of
get
that
out of
money,
politics.
none of that money that he's raising is being used to fund the audits.
Of course not. Yeah. That's why he's not getting out of politics, because it's just like a unlimited ticket for him to raise money and scam.
It's a cash cow.
Well, you gotta realize that he is he kind of has had a what's the word I'm looking for? He's had a free pass for a while being president, and none of the people are coming after him for money he owes or anything like that. And he's really trying. He's one step ahead of people coming to get him on stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not just the political stuff. It's not just the illegal stuff. It's just
like
that
loans.
I mean, his company. He was. I would be surprised if he could come up with $200,000 right now.
Well, he's trying to offload the post office hotel because that's losing money. And all those golf courses, they're all losing money. Golf courses.
Well, no, they weren't. I don't think they were losing money until he ran for president and became such a disgusting human being that nobody wanted to stay at those hotels. I mean, last night I had dinner at the Trump. What's the
I thought
hotel?
that was Tuesday night.
Times Square. No, it was last night.
He's always been a disgusting human being, but now everybody knows it.
And that
Now
last
everybody
night was
knows.
Tuesday night.
Last night was
at
Tuesday.
Trump Tower?
What?
At Trump Tower?
No, it wasn't Trump Tower. It's Trump. The one in
Soho?
No, the one in Columbus Circle. the Trump International or something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
But there's a restaurant that's in there.
Is it any good?
Oh, very
Yes.
good.
Yeah, it's a world-class restaurant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with Trump. And Trump didn't go out and say, I'm going to start a restaurant here. No, this was a
He bought the Plaza Hotel, right? And then he sold it and lost a lot of money on it, right?
Yes.
It went bancrupt.
Yeah. So what is the Plaza Hotel still being used? Is it open?
Oh yeah, but they've sold part of it as condos,
Oh.
as condo units. It's still being run as a hotel as well, but there are people who actually have homes there. So, yeah.
Because I remember the last time I was in New York, I walked by there and it looked like it was all boarded up on the floors. Down up the front.
I think what you saw is they were fixing the front of it. Like,
Oh,
if
okay.
you came and looked at our apartment house here, you'd see the same thing because they're doing the pointing and fixing all the bricks and stuff, and it's about a 2-year job. And we've
Yeah.
had this, all this scaffolding and everything up around the building. It looks like that.
Can't you open the window and push the scaffolding over where the guys are on it?
Well, you see, I also believe that the plaza is a brick building, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody want to correct me on that one?
I'm not sure.
And if it's a brick building, they have to every 30 years, 40 years,
To point it.
point it. And what pointing
Yeah.
is you go in, you scrape out all the loose
Mortar.
Route.
around
Mortar.
the bricks and put in new mortar. And that's on a building like ours, for instance, it's a couple of year job.
Time consuming.
Yeah, so you look at the plaza, and I'm sure it was up there, and it looked like it was probably closed or something, or they were working on it, but that's probably what they were doing.
I wonder if the dust in the old mortar is causing your allergies.
Oh, it's causing a lot. I went into my guest room, and there was a layer of, it isn't even dust, it's almost a layer of dirt,
Cement.
that has been caused by that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, mortar, cement has lye in it.
Oh, really?
Limestone too.
And limestone too, right?
Yeah.
Those are. I would think those would be very irritating in
Well,
the air.
I'll tell you, I have a what do you call it? Air purifier, and it has a circle that's lit up, and it's blue when everything's fine. As it changes then to green when it's not so good, and then to orange, and ultimately to red when it's really bad. And for a couple of days that they were out there doing a lot of the chipping around my windows and stuff, that thing was red.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. I don't think it's healthy, and but then again, what's more unhealthy, that or having bricks fall out of the building because the building's falling apart, So but the trouble is, every morning I wake up to them chipping away, bam, 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 and then the drill happens, nyam, nyam. Yeah, and then there are pieces.
That's the real sound that it makes.
Yeah, they're chunks. Yeah, they're chunks of our building missing because they've taken them out, and I guess they're taking them out to fix them or something like that.
Well, sometimes if you tuck point a wall,
Mm-hmm.
you take out the old mortar, the bricks have nothing left, so
Right.
they have to take the bricks out and then
Right.
remortar them back into place.
Absolutely.
Well, there's outside our building, over on the side of the building, they're out in the street. There are like pallets of bricks
Yep.
for these people, I guess, to take up with them and put new bricks in where the old bricks were like in bad shape and so on and so forth. But pointing is something they have to do, every, I don't know how many
You're
years.
getting your money's worth for the rent you're paying.
Yeah, well, let's not get into that. Okay.
Sore
I know
point.
the story.
Very sore point. Yeah. Yeah. Bad advice from a lawyer. So.
By the way, I watched your Monday pop-up, and it was interesting that Mr. Deutsch talking about an invoice that he had that Donald Trump hadn't paid, and wondering if that was worth something on eBay.
It's actually maybe a real. I think that Andrew probably was joking, but that thing might be worth something.
Yeah, I think he was joking. However,
I heard that too. I listen to the
Andrew's
show.
a very funny guy.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
fun, Mark.
Yeah.
He posts some fun
Yeah,
stuff.
he's very
too.
quick, very
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see here. Morally, it's wrong, but public health-wise, $100 works. Then payment for vaccinations is justifiable to reduce disease. We blow the money on much worse. That's Forbin Colossus. What do you think? Do you think that we do spend money on worse than bribing people to go get a shot?
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah, people spend money to vote on Trump.
Yeah,
That's worse.
but I just think that if people don't want to get shots, at this point they can get very sick. That's their choice. And if they get sick, don't start on your deathbed saying, "Can you give me the shot?" Because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's too late.
Friends don't let
See,
friends
instead of
vote
that way.
Republican.
Yeah, well, it isn't. I don't know. Is it just Republicans? I mean, the Democrats have got their problems too. I mean,
Yeah, but Democrats at least want to attempt to govern. Republicans have lost all interest in governing at all. They don't
They just
care
wanna be
about the
bullies.
society.
Well, here-
They don't care about society as a whole. All they care about is their own power.
Here's what
Yep.
I don't get. Where are the Republicans who disagree with all this and who want to say, hey, like Liz Cheney, is there only,
Only
is
two
Liz
of them:
Cheney the
Adam
only
Kinzinger and Liz Cheney.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, are you
What
that
about the guy
in-
from Utah?
are,
What's his name?
are you that in lockstep?
Romney.
Romney.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
a senator. He's not a congressman.
Oh, sorry.
But my question is, are they that in lockstep that some of them can't say, hey, I don't feel real comfortable with this?
Well, the last person that did that was Cheney, and look what happened to her.
Yeah, well, I think
He
more
just
people.
lost a leadership position. It's no big deal.
Yeah, but she may lose her
Her job.
job because,
I don't think so.
well,
I think she's very popular in her state.
well, up to a point where she was elected, they voted for Trump in the election, and so she's got to overcome that.
Where's she from? Somewhere in the Midwest, right?
Wyoming, I think.
Yeah,
That's Midwest to me.
yeah. Wyoming's very Republican, very heavy Republican.
What I don't get is, what are the Republicans so scared of Trump? I mean, he backed like that governor that ran for the governor of Kansas, Coburn or Cobain, whatever his name was, and a Democrat won. Then he backed a lot of these crazy people, and the Republicans ended up losing their seats.
He voted for Roy. He backed Roy Moore for
Yeah,
Senate
Roy
in
Moore.
Alabama and
Oh,
lost to a
that's
Democrat.
right. That's right. Roy Moore. Boy, what a guy with a skeleton in his.
Mr. Pedophile.
Yeah.
Yes.
No shit.
What is? I didn't see it, but I hear that the
was a
whole
judge
thing,
or
the whole
something.
thing with Gates and Marjorie Moore, Marjorie, what's her name?
Marjorie Trader Green.
Trader
Yeah.
Green.
Margie Gill.
Marjorie Taylor Greene were out doing something, and some people started protesting against
Yeah.
them, and it got so loud and vociferous that they both ran away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were trying to have a presser outside the Congress after the select committee had their hearings.
And weren't they holding a sign behind him saying pedophile?
Yeah, pedophiles for Trump.
He is going after, this Marjorie Taylor Greene is going after some small business owner because he has ordered his employees to get COVID shots. And a couple of them, I guess, got mild cases of COVID after they were injected. But okay, that's the breakthrough thing. But now.
No, it
she
isn't.
says-
That isn't even breakthrough. That sometimes people, after they get, especially the second shot, come
No,
down
no,
with a
we're
little
talking-
touch of it.
We're talking about weeks or months later, but it doesn't. That's not my point. My point was, she's going after this guy because now he's telling people, they're in Georgia together. He's telling people, in order to come in, you got to prove that you're vaccinated. And she says next they want to make. Is he going to ask for vaccination proof on hepatitis, mono, on and on and on. And I'm like, God,
Yeah.
is she this
Good idea.
dumb?
Yeah, do it.
Actually, I think most rocks are smarter than this cunt.
If I had a restaurant or something and she came into it, I wanted to see if she had crabs.
Well, you know
Well,
what's
that's one of the
interesting.
things she brought up. Actually, John, you probably saw it.
It's interesting.
She wanted to make sure that this guy checked for everybody for crabs.
It's interesting that Phil last night said that he had one person who works for him who didn't want to get vaccinated, and he told him, I want you vaccinated because
Right.
you're going into people's homes, and I want to protect my customers.
Absolutely.
And so the
Makes
guy,
sense.
in spite of the fact that he was adamantly against it, went out and got the shot. And I think that's a very good reason to want one of your employees to get a shot, that the customers don't get infected by your lack of.
A lot of businesses in the past couple of weeks are demanding it in California now.
Yeah.
All over
Gotta
the country,
show.
not just California.
All over the
So how
country.
does it look for Gavin Newsom?
He's still holding his own.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
They're going to hold. I'm working at one of his, like a fundraiser party at the Warfield next month.
Yeah. Well, you know
And you
who
should have got a room there, John, as much as you're there.
the number one Republican
I live
is.
right around the corner
You know
from
who
the
the
place.
number one Republican is right now in the polls.
Who?
In that. What's it?
Caitlin?
Huh?
Caitlin?
No, the talk show host,
Larry Elder?
Larry Elder. Yeah,
He's number
No.
2.
yeah. He's he's the number one Republican right now. Yeah.
No.
No,
I don't
according
think so.
according to the latest research.
Really?
Yeah. Mhm.
No.
Yeah, and he's also number one in getting to be in the Radio Hall of Fame. So, I'd say.
I did vote for you tonight, Alex.
Did
by
you
the
really?
way.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 times.
Yeah.
Really?
I got to go back and do a couple
Yeah.
more too.
You, you had
You
12
do-
different. 12
I have
different.
12 different emails, so I voted for you
okay.
on all of my emails.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, well, everybody, if you have a couple of emails, do it all on those different emails. You can vote. You can only vote once per email
Right.
address, but you don't have to. If you've got, do you have that many?
I've got 12.
You
yeah.
got 12. Oh, okay.
That's
Well, when
just on,
somebody was talking about it
that's
last
just on
night,
Gmail. That's just on Gmail. That's
I
not
think it was
counting my Yahoo
Brian.
account.
It was Brian who said he had 7.
right?
Oh no,
Well,
Kevin.
I have a bunch of them too, and I didn't realize that you could do that. But
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Well, yeah, I'm not encouraging anybody to do that.
Nope.
I'm
Including
not
us.
encouraging you, but I'm not discouraging you. Okay, all right. Anyway, there's the theme song, folks. It's time to go. Thank God. I almost didn't do a show tonight. I was so depressed tonight that
Why?
I went out. This is quick. I went out and took a walk up to the park because it was at night because I just, I couldn't. I was so upset by my lawyer today. And guess what? I was out there. Fireflies.
Wow.
And basically,
They're kind of cute. Their butts light up.
I grew up in California. We don't have fireflies out there.
No.
I never seen
But-
a firefly in my life.
There are fireflies in the park. Come see our park. They're
Cool.
in the park.
We've had them here in Kentucky for the last 2 months.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. And there's some
They're
places.
not native to Kentucky?
I don't know.
Quick.
Anyway, hey,
Trucker
listen,
Steve.
I gotta go.
Real fast though, Trucker Steve,
Yeah.
get one of these for when you can practice your guitar when you do your dialysis.
Oh yeah, like everybody's going to appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you, Vernon. And
It's a little 3 amp little thing that runs on batteries. It sounds great. It's
Yeah.
called a.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the old
Fly
pig
through.
amps. Yeah, thank you, Trucker Steve. Good to see you and glad to see you feeling better. Also, thank you, John Larkin. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Tony. And thanks to Alan for being with us tonight. Everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay, all right. Just going to say to you that we have the intersection coming up next with Jack Bishop, and then he'll be doing it on Skype with Gabnet Live being the address. You get a hold of. Okay? That's it. That's it for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow night if I don't get completely depressed. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? And by the way, if you haven't been vaccinated, why the fuck not, okay? Do something about it.